on a positive environment vibe for the government, in the sense that in the recent past, the Minister of Finance already announced that she is trying to get hold and eliminate the ghost civil servants in this organization. And our Ministry of General Affairs also, that has the responsibility for the civil servants, are in cooperation with this initiative of the Minister of Finance, because we really think it's not correct that civil servants stand every day to come and work, and they have colleagues that for a while already, sometimes years, are being paid out, and others are doing enormously their best to keep this country going, and others are just making use of a free ride while the others are doing the work. And I think to improve the work environment and appreciation, I think these matters should be tackled too in our government, and I'm working very hard with all my colleagues here to see how we can get better control of the ghost civil servants. Further, as you know, we had in the past already a crisis, the energy crisis, but we have more things that are becoming a challenge for country St. Martin, especially if we realize that the attention of this government is to work on nation building, seeing the fact that we are a very young country. And one big challenge that we are encountering, but thank God it's not only us encountering, is a lack of an insufficiency of human treasury for our country, talking about professionals. We have a quite vulnerable human resources to supply and service our government apparatus, and we are starting with a aggressive recruitment to see if we can get more civil servants adding to our apparatus, because we really need more hands-on with expertise, with knowledge, to help us prosper this country, to help us further develop this country in the direction that we would like to go. There is, for example, in March, from the 28th to the 29th, there is a very large career fair in the Netherlands. I will try with my busy schedule also to attend. We are planning to invite all the Caribbean students, and especially the students from St. Martin, to come to this fair. And we are trying also to be more proactive and efficient in our recruitment there. In the past, we used to inform them about possibilities and vacancies. And what we're going to do this time is to be at hand, hands-on, try immediately to offer them the right forms to fill in and be proactive in our recruitment process. We're going to also try to expand our necessity ads that we need as vacancies to the other CAS islands, being Curaçao and Aruba too. We're going to expand it also to the Netherlands. We were even thinking about approaching the universities in the Netherlands to give them the opportunity for us to advertise that there are options for us to recruit those that just finalize their studies, that there are opportunities for them to come and help our country. We are, as I said in the beginning, enormously in need of experts, professionals, actually in all fields, technical fields, in the legal field, and actually the speed that we want to go with the development of this country. We really need those experts to guide us and help us. So we're going to publish a lot of ads in local newspapers, in newspapers in Curaçao, in Aruba. Social media we're going to make use of. We're going to target the market in the Netherlands. We're going to try to get a working relationship with universities, to get the young ones that recently finalized their studies, to see if we can engage people on all levels to come help us with the further development of our country.
Mr. I do have a clarification regarding the increase, the doubling of the assistance for civil servants who pass away. Can you give us an indication in a nutshell what the criteria is for the families to tap that assistance? Is it that the civil servant has to pass away on the job? And what is the time frame within which the family makes the request for the assistance that they will get it? Because of course, if you're dealing with something with funeral assistance, they would need to get it as soon as possible in order to make use of that. And regarding what you mentioned about the ghost civil servants, now this is something I've been hearing for at least 20 years. What is the intention after government gets a clearer picture as to, how many ghost civil servants we have? Is it the intention to let them go and have those positions filled for more efficiency within the administration? Or what is the intention? And do you have any indication as to how large this group is at the moment? Thank you.
Yes, the first is the criteria for the assistance here. The first is, the first condition is somebody has to pass away. That's first criteria, of course. Secondly, your question was, a sub-question of your question was, where must you die? Must you die in while being active on your work? No, you just pass away, and you are a civil servant, and your family knows that there is a little financial aid to help you during these challenging times that you're going through. And I think that's a little comfort for the family, a headache less in these thriving times. And thirdly, till when? I think it has to be between passing of the person, the time that the person passed away, and the moment before the funeral, of course. That's the time span that we're going to apply. It's not that you can come after 10 years and say to the government, I have an uncle that passed away 10 years ago. Do you have a financial aid for me? No, it doesn't work like that. And actually, we know that too. That is the moment of passing away, to heading towards the funeral date. That's just the time span that the family knocks at the door of government. Most of the time, the government knows already, and we prepare them to assist them. About the ghost workers, we are now in the inventory phase of getting to know who these persons are. And your question was, how many of them? We are in the phase of an inventory now to see, an inventaris, as we call it, to see how many civil servants are ghost civil servants. And then the other sub-question was, what are you going to do with them? I think the first thing is everybody deserves a chance to explain what is going on. It's not that we know you are a ghost worker. Sometimes people have an impressive story that explains why they have been a ghost worker. I think they have a right to have the opportunity to explain that too. And based on the interaction in identifying this ghost worker, I think then the government will take a well-balanced decision to solve this problem.
Just one quick clarification, Prime Minister, regarding the benefits for deceased civil servants.
Yeah.
If, let's say, I start working in government today and
Yes.
I pass away tomorrow,
Yes.
would I qualify for that? Is there a time limit within which I need to be working for government for my family to get that assistance?
It's a very detailistic technical question you're asking me there, but I think the moment I take you as a civil servant, I have a responsibility for you. And I think that should not, especially in this phase of emotional pain, I don't think this type of positioning from government towards civil servant should become an issue. Once you're civil servants, you are civil servants.
you S&V insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? S&V is cardless. Request your My S&V account today and enter the virtual office of S&V. Go to s&v.sx and sign up now.
S&V, yeah, your social health insurances.
It's time for a new brand that is as bold, vibrant, and colorful as the island of St. Martin, with colors drawn from our diversity, cultural heritage, and nature. Our breathtaking beaches, waters, and sun, the majestic brown pelican, our national symbol, the radiant yellow sage, our national flower, the historic border monument signifying the Dutch and French sides, our exciting cruise, yachting, and boating ports, renowned Maho Beach and St. Martin Airport, the hub to the Caribbean. All these parts come together to create the shape of the island of St. Martin. More than a logo. It's a new brand that engages, excites, and will inspire travelers to book. It's time to tell the St. Martin story, to reintroduce travelers to St. Martin, to honor our past, to embrace our present, and shape our future. Our culture and diversity, Dutch and French sides, unrivaled cuisine, twice the nightlife, entertainment, and shopping, cruises, boating, and yachting, twice the adventure, exploration, and relaxation, splendid and scenic accommodations, Pinel, Tentamar, and island hopping in the Caribbean. Whatever your taste, St. Martin has more. Experience twice the Caribbean. St. Martin.
I ask you about the new General Hospital. One of the questions I asked was, and including my colleague, it was about the cost, if there were changes, what's the difference, and also about the designs. You told us then that you were meeting that very day or the following day with the hospital and that you were going to provide us with the information. A week later, we still didn't get it. So since you're here today, we'd like for you to give us a proper update on the new General Hospital, timeline, change of design, additional cost.
Unfortunately, while here at the press briefing, I received the information that there is a non-disclosure agreement between the hospital and the contractor for that the information cannot be shared to the public. Of course, once I'm finished here, I'm going to find out exactly why, because that also came by surprise to me. However, based on the document that they sent me, they justified the reason for the increase. So basically, there was an increase from the original amount. And for them, what they indicated to me as justification for the increase are the redesign, Irma, indexation, COVID, and the Ukraine war. Those are the reasons why they put in the document that they sent to me to justify the increase in the cost of building the new hospital. Again, as I said, with regard to the exact figures of the original and the current new figure, I'm going to find out exactly why it is non-disclosure agreement between the contractor and the hospital and get back to you.
The design?
Excuse me?
The redesign.
Correct.
Is that also is there also a non-disclosure on the redesigning?
No. When I say redesigning, they're giving me justification why there's an increase in the original amount that was proposed for the building of the hospital. And the redesigning is one of the reasons why the amount has increased.
And what is the redesign? What are we adding? Another roof? Another floor? What are we adding?
Okay.
Because I have the design of this colleague of mine of the contract with former Enzo. So I know what it looks like.
Okay.
So I'm asking you, what is going to be added to increase the cost that you can't tell us about?
Okay, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to find out from the hospital what was the original design, what is the redesign, what was added. The same question that you're asking me now, I will find out and get back to you pertaining to that.
Minister, during the budget debate, and I'm guessing this was a previous budget debate because this question was asked in October, you said that the release of inmates depends on various persons. You mentioned the governor, prosecutor, and even lawyers. Can you please explain what you mean? As mentioned, the release of inmates is clearly mentioned in the law. Lawyers have no say at all in which inmates get to be released. Please clarify. To clarify, the release of inmates involves input from various parties as outlined by the law. For instance, in the case of a pardon, gratie, the request is addressed to the governor and subsequently forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for review. During this process, the court and the prosecutor's office provide mandatory advisory opinions. In matters of conditional or early release, the process requires advice from several key stakeholders, including the prison director, the probation office, and the CCR. Based on these advisory opinions, the Minister of Justice makes an informed decision regarding the inmate's eligibility for release. Lawyers, while not directly involved in decision-making, can play an important role in advocating for their clients at various stages of the inmate's case. What I've heard, Minister, is that once there is a problem with cell capacity at your ministry, your ministry looks at the percentage of the time inmates sat already. The person who has the highest percentage can come out before their time. How is this percentage being calculated? Do you calculate the percentage from the time they got sentenced, or do you calculate the percentage from the time they actually have to sit? So sentence minus 1/3. Is this also written in a policy or a verbal agreement? It follows from the law, not from policy, that prisoners are recommended for early conditional release based on the reasoning that they have, relative to other detainees, served the largest part, highest percentage of their prison sentence, minus 1/3. For the sake of clarity, I would like to refer to the explanatory memorandum of the Penal Code, where it is stated as an example that every prisoner in principle serves 66.6% of their sentence, except for those serving short sentences. If there is a shortage of prison capacity, this percentage is adjusted downward, for example, to 64 or perhaps even 60%. Assuming the legislation is often a codification of policy, it is reasonable to conclude that the legislator intended for an additional sentence reduction of no more than 6%, that is, beyond the standard 33% reduction. Minister, what is the status for inmates to get medical help? Currently, a few inmates need urgent medical attention and are still waiting on the ministry to take a decision. Based on recent court cases, the prosecutor's office is stating that the final decision is still being made by the minister. Is this true? And if not, please clarify. All inmates have access to comprehensive medical assistance whenever necessary. The prison has established a partnership with a qualified medical doctor who is on call to provide healthcare services and treatment for any medical issues that arise. This includes regular checkups, emergency care, and ongoing health management. As minister, I maintain a policy of non-intervention in the day-to-day operations of medical care within the facility, allowing healthcare professionals to make decisions regarding inmate health based on their expertise and the special needs of that specific individual. Based on the law, an inmate needs to work once they receive their sentence. What is the status of this? Why are inmates who have received a long prison sentence still not working? What is the ministry's vision on this? This issue is being addressed. I recognize the importance of a well-structured work program for prisoners as part of their rehabilitation and reintegration process. However, due to the deplorable state of the prison and, of course, our budget, and also the limited facilities available, it creates serious challenges to provide labor opportunities for inmates. Efforts are underway to explore solutions, including infrastructure improvements and collaboration with relevant stakeholders to create opportunities for meaningful work within the constraints of the current situation. What is the minister's vision on inmates working outside of the prison? I strongly support reintegration and believe in giving inmates meaningful opportunities during their incarceration. Allowing inmates to work outside the prison can be an important step toward rehabilitation, provided it is done safely and with clear safeguards in place. Such programs must serve a constructive purpose, equipping inmates with skills and experience that prepare them for life after prison. However, this work should never feel like an extra punishment to the inmates, but rather a chance for personal growth and for a contribution to society. It's essential to explore opportunities where these efforts align with both rehabilitation goals and public safety. I envision a prison that isn't simply a warehouse for individuals, but actively works to rehabilitate them and prepare them for life beyond incarceration. How does the ministry guarantee that the detention of detainees aligns with human rights standards, and how is the ministry ensuring that there is no breach with Article 3 of the ECHR? The ministry is committed to ensuring that detention conditions meet human rights standards, including compliance with Article 3 of the ECHR. Significant improvements have been made to the Point Blanche prison to enhance living conditions and prevent inhuman or degrading treatment. These include refurbishing recreational rooms, establishing a new music room, gym, barbershop, and common areas, as well as repainting all inner walls and exercise yards. In addition to funds earmarked in the national budget for repair work and maintenance, sufficient financial resources have also been made available by the Ministry of BZK to support the prison's efforts to address the issues identified by the CPT. The Dutch custodial agency, DAE, has signed a service agreement to support Point Blanche, and the Ministry of BZK has granted a contribution to the NRPB for the support of the Ministry of Justice of St. Martin for up to 927,000 euros to provide technical assistance to implement improvements to and within the current facility. The NRPB has been tasked with the recruitment of a program manager and team to implement the needed material and organizational changes.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurance.
The Ministry of Education says it wants to push the days of students being seen and not heard aside. Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer-Bradshaw says this is why they've spearheaded the establishment of student councils in every secondary school. She made the announcement at the Harrison College Campion College Student Exchange Summit. Ms. Archer-Bradshaw is pleased with the establishment of the Barbados National Student Council last year.
And I continue to look forward to the work that they're doing. They host leadership academies. They go into the primary schools and assist young people, the 7 to 11-year-olds, help them to understand what it means to have student voice and student choice. They also engage in service learning, beautification of their schools. Go on their BNSC Instagram page if you are on Instagram, BNSC, and you will see the good work that our student council is doing.
Dr. Archer-Bradshaw says the drive to establish student councils at the school started in 2022. She explains the councils serve as advocacy groups and give the students an opportunity to also work in partnership with the ministry.
The future is yours. The future is yours. As a result, we need to hear your thoughts on issues impacting you. We want to hear your ideas on the matters that affect you. And it is not only a case of hearing. We want to be able to act on some of the things that you want to see in your society.
Several Jamaican students from Campion College participated in this year's teaching learning experience at Harrison College through the exchange program, which began in 2022. Campion College student Cameron Buchanan says the student-led summit serves as an opportunity for speakers to explore contemporary issues that directly affect their future and present innovative solutions to address them.
These include the RNG economy, which explores the untapped potential of creative industries in driving our economies. The impacts of changing relationships between North America and the Caribbean, which examines how shifting global dynamics influence our trade, our culture, and our diplomacy. And climate change, an urgent issue that threatens the very fabric of our region and calls for our collective attention.
Meanwhile, Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, David Commission, says he would love to see the exchange program duplicated across the region and is encouraging students to get more involved in CARICOM.
And so I would like to say to all of the young people here, I would like you to really take an interest in CARICOM, take an interest in the CARICOM Youth Ambassador Program, because perhaps several of you here could be CARICOM Youth Ambassadors.
The visiting students have already returned home to share their experiences. Anesta Henry, CBC News.